Integrity.
Rachel RaQuel, what's going on, sis? How you doing?
What's going on, Khacki? How are you?
Doing good. How about you?
I'm great. It's good to be back in Atlanta.
Come on now. How was everything? How was the flight?
Oh, the flight was wonderful.
That's good.
Easy breezy.
Definitely. You're down here working.
Working.
Come on now. Absolutely. That's what's up. Rachel RaQuel, let's talk to him.
Let's talk to him. What
You
we talking
living
about?
or you surviving?
Day by day.
Come on.
That's what I take it. Day by day. No, every day is better than the last because I'm still here.
That's right.
So we just take it day by day. But, we're making it do what it do.
Come on. Respect. Welcome to the Integrity Response with your brother, CEO Khacki. Every individual sitting across from me doesn't believe in being typical, ordinary, or familiar. They're elite, meaning society's norms don't sit well with them. They believe in raising the bar for themselves, family, and for those they may never meet. From those in humble beginnings to those in the midst of greatness and legends who've paved the way. With a comedic edge, I will ask the questions that hold value, and I believe we'll gain insight to the real them. It's the Integrity Response. Rachel, let's take them back. So I normally ask everybody at the age of 9 what they want to be before singing, songwriting, acting. But you knew at age 4, growing up singing in the church, you always wanted to be a singer.
Yes.
Come on. So how was it? So take your new fans back to 4 years old singing in the church.
Wow. 4 years old singing in a church. I remember my first church appearance was at Second Antioch Baptist Church in Philly. And I had to sing this solo called I'm a Child of God. And I just remember getting ready to walk up there. Previous to that, rehearsing the night before with my mom. And then when we get to the church, I'm walking up and she grabs me by the back of my neck. And I'm like, yeah. And she's like, when you get up there.
Go ahead.
And it says, who I am, I want you to put your hand on your hip.
Come on now.
And I want you to move your neck.
I love it.
Obviously, I thought she was crazy, but for some reason, as I was walking up there, I was like, I'm not doing that.
Right.
And I got up there and I did it
Come
too.
on.
And the church was like, oh my God.
Come on, sis. I love it.
Those are memories.
Definitely. Did you know then you had something, in a sense of, confidence, even at that young age, knowing that, God was using you, number one, just knowing that you had something unique, different, above normal?
No.
You didn't?
I didn't.
Wow.
I didn't.
Did you come from a musical background, family, instrumentalist, anything, singers?
So my mom dibble-dabbled in music for some years. She was in a group, and then she moved into the church. So,
gotcha.
Getting it from my mom,
right.
Have some musical background and some other relatives that have done the music thing, but I didn't realize then.
Right, absolutely, gotcha. You just knew growing up in the church.
I just knew that it was what I was doing.
Gotcha.
I loved it.
Was it a family church?
It wasn't, but it definitely felt way better than a lot of churches feel now.
Gotcha. Come on, sis. Absolutely.
Thinking back and having this conversation, it felt like family.
Go ahead.
And a lot of these churches today, they don't.
Real. Philly.
Yeah.
Brotherly love.
Brotherly love, sisterly affection.
Absolutely.
That's the motto.
What was it like growing up there?
So in my beginning years of life, I grew up in a really nice area of Philly.
Okay.
They call it Overbrook, or the specific area I was in, it's called Green Hill Farms.
Gotcha.
And different. Kind of really different being, one of the only brown families.
Right. I was going to ask, was it diverse, or was it really like they say in Philly, growing up in, it was really like that?
So I grew up in the outskirts.
Gotcha.
Right.
Okay.
In my younger years, and then when I got into my teenage years, because life obstacles and things happen, I went down into an area called Southwest.
Okay.
I don't even want to say down, but it wasn't down.
Right.
It was south
from
where I was living.
Right.
But I went to Southwest, and man, I learned a lot about Philly.
Gotcha.
Lived in Philly my whole life, but I learned a lot about Philly when I moved to Southwest.
Gotcha. What age did you move there?
I moved to Southwest when I was 16.
Okay, gotcha. So it's a little later. Okay, gotcha. So we're looking right at 11th grade, 10th or 11th grade. So you uprooting and moving halfway through high school. What did that do for you as a child? How did that change you?
So for some strange reason, I was in 12th grade at 16.
Wow, come on now. That's what's up. All right, now.
I guess I was a little smart. I don't know.
Absolutely.
But
Awesome.
You know, it was definitely a pivot.
Gotcha.
You know, like I said, it was some life changes that happened, and when I tell you, it was just a matter of from 12 to 16.
Right.
I had lost 2 grandmothers, my father and my sister, and we lost our home and everything. We were homeless, but you know, by the grace of God, having family,
that's right.
They took me in, and shout out to them.
Come on. Okay, this part of the story I didn't know. Like, okay, so from 12, this is the reason why you moved a little further south, because it was by choice. You had to.
It was a lot going on, and you know, when you assess that, and as an adult years later, and kind of think back about, okay, like, did this really have to happen? Like, what were the choices that this person who could have changed things, what did they have to do? And then you're just like, look, that doesn't even matter. It happened. It happened for some reason. And, you know, sometimes we have to take those obstacles that life throws us and use them as tools to make us stronger.
Absolutely. Absolutely. A lot of that you speak in the music as well.
Absolutely.
It translates.
Absolutely. I love to talk about, in my music, I like to talk about things that are happening. Obviously, a majority of our experiences that I'm going through, because they're coming out of my mind, but as a collaborative writer,
right.
When you're sitting in those sessions, and you know, it all starts off by just having conversations.
Absolutely. And
you're talking about what's going on with you. Right. So yeah, sometimes it might be me, sometimes it might be you.
Right.
But collectively, it's what a majority are going through.
Absolutely. Yep. So when did you know you had this gift? Was this middle school? I know you've been singing since 4, but when did you know? It's a difference between singing and exploring the recording booth. When did you know you had this talent to seek out the recording booth and start, or did you start writing first? You know, like, and then was like, okay, let me take my talents and see what I could do on wax. How was that?
So the transition was a little harder for me, because I started off live. I started off
absolutely
singing in front of people. I didn't start off like, hey, I wrote this poem. Do you like it? Tell me what you think. It was, this is the song that you need to sing, rehearse, and learn this song, and then you will perform this song.
Gotcha.
And that was kind of the structure of my life at that time. So the creative part came later.
Gotcha.
When it came down to, well, I don't want to just sing other people's songs.
Absolutely. And maturity, and actually, absolutely awesome. Gotcha. Yeah. And was this high school?
This was not too long ago.
So you know, okay, I love it. Yeah. So this transition, you're really exploring from a different end now.
Yeah.
So take your fans, take your supporters back through you in high school. Let's go back a little bit. Did you play any sports or anything?
I did. I played softball and I played tennis.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
You think you still do it today?
Well, I still play tennis.
Come on now. All right, that's what's up. Definitely. Is that how you get your form of cardio and everything still to this day?
It's my preferred method.
That's awesome. Gotcha. Okay.
I don't get it as much as I should.
Okay, for sure.
Tennis is definitely my preferred method.
That's dope.
I like interaction.
That's right.
I shout out to the people that go to the gym every
Come on,
day.
That's real, right?
Because that's hard.
Right. Absolutely, it's committed.
It's really hard.
Absolutely.
And for me, I like if I'm riding a bike, I need to be good on a destination somewhere.
Gotcha.
You know, because I remember one time I was riding my bike during cardio, and I took a wrong turn. And when I tell you, it put me at least, like 12 miles away from where I was supposed to be, because I was doing a path, and I came out on the wrong path.
Gotcha. Okay.
And I didn't know how to get back down, so I had to take the streets.
Right.
It took me like...
You was by yourself?
I was with someone,
okay,
but
gotcha.
It took us like 2 hours to get home. But I wasn't thinking about, oh my God, I'm so tired. I
was enjoying the time and scenic route, everything.
I didn't know brothers was here.
Wow.
You know, it was just kind of that thing. But yeah, you know, I like to be active. I like to see things. So for me, like, yeah, if I mean, anybody out there want to play tennis with me?
Real. That's what's up. Definitely. So,
I'll teach you.
Come on now,
Play.
for sure.
I'm sure they got some courts. I saw a country club right down the street.
Right next to us. That's
Okay.
right. So let me ask you this. When you was in high school, fill in the blank for your supporters, for your fans. In high school, I was known as a kid that...
Oh, man. In high school, I was the shy
Gotcha.
girl that played sports.
Gotcha.
And that was simply it. I stayed to myself. I stayed in my books. I mind my business.
Real.
You know, it was just me and my two friends.
Gotcha.
And we had other friends outside of that,
Right.
but
That was when you...
it was just, we were kids, you know?
Real.
We went over our one girlfriend's house on Friday nights. We all did each other's hair.
Gotcha.
And then we would beg our parents to let us stay together.
Right, that's right.
Right.
Gotcha. Did you grow up in Philly? Mm-hmm. Not many high school kids drove, did they?
No.
Gotcha. It's like, right, absolutely, right? It's like normally like 20, 21, 22, right? Gotcha.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't get my license until I was 18.
Gotcha. Okay.
So, because it just, although I knew how to drive since I was 10.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
My dad was from the South.
Okay, gotcha.
So, where we lived, you know, it's like a cul-de-sac area community, so it wasn't like much traffic in there.
Wow.
So he would let me take
Really?
his car like up and down and around our driveway.
Wow.
Like I could drive it up the driveway in the backyard, turn it around, come. So I would drive his Infiniti Q45.
Wow, come on now.
At
Yeah.
11 years old.
Gotcha. That's crazy.
Yeah. So it wasn't really but in Philly, like especially like depending on where you live, like most things are walking distance.
Okay.
You can catch public transportation, and it's different
It is,
than it
definitely.
was now. Like
Right.
now, the kids are like, "Can you call me an Uber?"
Gotcha.
I'm like, to go
So,
3
right.
blocks, girl, you better walk.
You better walk over there, right?
We was walking 20 blocks.
Absolutely. Go ahead.
Walk.
For real. After high school, did you have plans for college? Was that, something you pursued?
I did, and I talk about this all the time. I had high hopes.
Go ahead.
To go away to school, but me staying and helping my family, my mother more in particularly,
Yes.
was more important at the time.
Understand.
And I've always had a hustler mindset. So making money wasn't the reason for me to go to college.
Absolutely.
The reason for me to go to college was to learn something that I didn't know.
Gotcha.
But I wasn't sure what I wanted to learn that I didn't know.
Gotcha.
And
Understand
I
that.
still feel that way. I don't want to go back just to go back.
Right. I understand it. Respect. Do you think these days, like, the world has changed dramatically? I even say to my kids, like a school, college is designed for you to work for somebody. Mm-hmm. It's designed, 90% is designed for you to work for somebody. Maybe afterwards, you possibly become your own entrepreneur, your own business owner, but it's designed for that. How do you feel about,
I'm the type of learner, like when I receive something in a box from Amazon, Temu, wherever it is, and it needs to be put together, I like to try to attempt to do it first.
Gotcha.
And then go back and read the instructions. For some reason, the type of learner that I am, I'm a visual learner. So when I'm now reading, I understand what I'm reading.
Gotcha.
Because I'm like, oh, this part, okay, these go together. And that's the same way I feel about school. So I always wanted to know specifically like how that degree can help me with knowledge, not money.
Not money. I like that.
Yep.
It's real. Let me ask you this. Have you always known you were born for music entertainment?
It's not a tough question, but honestly, no.
Gotcha.
Honestly, no. That's that RaQuel thing.
Right. We spoke about that off camera.
Right.
So go ahead.
So Rachel's always looking for the next entrepreneurial opportunity. Where RaQuel is like, all right, come on, girl, we gotta write these songs. What's going on? Or we need to do this. We need to be in the studio. So, honestly, I'm excited to be teamed up right now with Fonz.
Come on, Fonz. Shout out to Fonz.
Shout out to Fonz.
Yes,
shout out to FFTV.
FFTV. Yes, ma'am. That's right.
Seriously, because you can't do it all.
You actually spoke about this in a prior interview about team. Mm-hmm. I thought about Fonzie when you were speaking on this, just the team.
Yeah.
That man works hard.
He works real hard.
Very hard. Yep. He is diligent. I can't say enough things about him. How important is team to you? Team
is important. But you have to know you have to be a good leader in order for a team to work.
That's real.
And that's trial and error.
Absolutely.
And that's just the bottom line. I mean, you can't expect your team to just be doing things and you don't know what you need them to be doing.
That's right.
So until you know what you need or how it needs to be achieved, your team can't help you with anything.
That's right. It's real. Absolutely. From 4 to 13 years old, you was on Unison TV.
Yes.
What was that like? Okay, for the viewers who don't understand what this is, you were traveling, you was in the circuit, you was moving around. Yeah. What was that like?
It was interesting because that was something that I did on the weekends.
Gotcha.
And then I would go back to school and just be this little dork.
Right. And not knowing you had this extra life.
Right. I mean, I never really equated the two.
Right.
But just like kind of like, these kids in this school are looking at me like, she's into her books.
Right.
And there was no social media. So
absolutely.
There were no phones. So it's not like I can come back to school on Monday. Like, look what I did over the weekend,
that's
guys.
So true.
It's like I could have told them that and they probably be like, whatever. Right. You be wearing them jeans and
gotcha.
Don't even have no name.
And you also was, closed in. You only had a select group of friends. Yeah. You really wasn't like that. No. Out there like that. Always been like that.
Always.
I'm noticing this trend with the most, most free birds in the world who share their gift with the world. When they get on stage, I've seen you on stage. Let's get on that first. Like that is, you let loose.
That's my love. That's my love.
That is, you can see the passion, hear the passion, feel the passion. You are an entertainer and performer. Most people who are able to do that and get on stage, they are the most introverted people in the real life, but they are the most flamboyant artists and can do, when they get on stage, it's completely night and day. Is that you? To a degree?
To a degree. And I will say that like some people believe that a lot of artists are just introverted and it's not that. It's like if I have a show like this weekend in particular, right? Mm-hmm. Today is Thursday. Mm-hmm. I have a show Friday, I have a show Saturday, and then I have the play on Sunday where it's 2 shows.
Gotcha.
In the play, I'm singing 4 songs.
Wow.
So that's 4 songs 2 times.
Wow.
On Saturday, it's a TV show, so I gotta sing.
Go
right?
ahead.
And Friday is the same thing. So yeah, I'm sorry, I have to call you back because I need to rest my voice.
Off camera, I asked you if you wanted an adult beverage. Mm-hmm. You take your craft serious. You didn't want it. I can tell that's part of.
This is apple juice.
That's apple juice. Absolutely, shout out to apple juice.
And this is really good apple juice too. It sounds like it has honey in it.
Right now. Mm-hmm. But you take your craft very serious. You are a brand.
Yeah.
I love that. Some people do it, don't have the high hopes, but you're locked in. Let me ask you this while we're on that, locked in. Scale 1 through 10, 2025, what do you rate your grind? Scale 1 through 10.
100.
Come on, sis. Come on.
100. Listen, a couple years ago, I had a dream, which was very scary.
Yes.
My mom came to me, who, as you know, she lives with me. I am responsible for her.
Right.
And it was weird because the whole time I was thinking like, oh my God, like, did she come to me because like God's called her home? But besides that, I had to get into what she was saying, right? And she was like, you need to live your life. Like, you need to follow your dreams. And I'm like, huh? You need to follow your dreams. That's the type of thing. My mom was really like...
You said that. Look, I heard that about to grab you. But girl was on the ring.
And I'm starting to become her. I can see that like when I'm with like my little cousins and my godson and stuff. They'll say something. I'm like, now you heard what I said.
That's right.
But at that point, I realized like I am in my own way.
Go ahead.
Integrity.
You saying something.
I'm in my own way. And that's when I had to let go, which means that when my friends call me, hey y'all, and they say, hey, we want to hang out tonight, I can't. As much as I want to, I can't. But that's why I make sure that I try to have my proper rest schedule. I try to put things in a schedule as much as I can. You know, things happen, so that I can measure out them times that I can hang out with my friends. These days, my friends are like my musician friends, like my background singers, my bands. Like, those are the people that I try to make sure that I put that time in for, because when they're on stage with me, when we're on tour, when we're going places, they have my front and my back.
Absolutely.
So I got to make sure that the simplest thing to just going out to karaoke with them.
I love it.
I do it.
I love it.
I do that for you.
That's right. Right. That's real.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. Are you, what currently drives you? You said your scale, out the Richter scale, 1 through 10, what currently drives you in 2025?
Well, when you start investing in yourself,
go ahead.
That's when you really become the brand. And when I started investing in myself 100%, I can't turn back.
Go ahead.
And there are people that are rooting for me.
Go ahead.
And I kind of watch these people and I'm like, me? Okay.
Right.
All right, look, I got you. I'm not going to let you down.
Right.
But when you have people that are kind of like cheering for you harder than you're cheering for yourself, you got to change that perspective.
Wow.
Like, my godmom, shout out to DJ Monty Big. That's my godmom.
Come on, shout out to her.
She has the most amazing spirit.
Wow.
And when I tell you that people gravitate to her, they gravitate to her. But because she introduces me to everybody as her daughter,
go ahead,
they gravitate to me. And I'm talking about these people pray for me.
Come on, sis.
Like, pray for my success. Pray for my enemies that are sitting in my face as my friends,
gotcha.
Right? That type of love. So when you have those type of people around
in your corner, absolutely. Can't
you gotta
do
keep,
but
you gotta keep moving.
You have to go, absolutely.
You gotta keep it moving.
Wow. You grew up with a gospel, jazz, and classical music background.
Mm-hmm.
What do you gravitate towards, with your band? What do you gravitate towards?
Man, so my brother, Mr. Shannon Woodall, he is a keyboardist, pianist. He's taught me how to curve other musicians when I'm working with them. And I never could understand, like, why is it that when I'm playing with other musicians, I can't get the same vibe? Another talented keyboardist by the name of Dan Rouse
gotcha.
Was like, because you need someone to be delicate with you. And I didn't really understand that. And then it all came into perspective. So it's about the vibe.
Gotcha.
It's funny you said that. We talked about those cameras,
absolutely.
Right? Just making sure and double checking.
Absolutely.
I have a residency in Atlantic City at this place called Kelsey's.
Come on, sis.
World famous.
Come on.
Black owned.
Come on.
Been open for years. Shout out to them.
Atlantic City. I lost a lot of money there. Shout out to them.
No, really?
Right. That's right. I was young and dumb.
Listen, I tell people all the time.
I love it.
Them casinos are for entertainment purposes only. Don't go in them casinos. Right. Listen. I worked in the casino industry.
Yeah.
I'm not naming them because I'm not giving them brand credits. But I watch people come in there and lose it all. And I'll be like, it's for entertainment purposes. You're supposed to come here, have fun. Get the free drinks.
Absolutely.
Get the food comps and go home, right? But
we don't know that.
Yeah, it's for entertainment purposes.
That's right.
But shout out to Kelsey's in Atlantic City. But one night, a couple months ago, my band and I, we were in there rocking.
Come on.
Right? And shout out to the sound engineer, because they had it loaded. It was crisp.
Right, you could.
It was crisp.
Crispy with a T at it. Crispy.
It was like this mic.
Go ahead.
It was crisp.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
And we did like 3 or 4 songs, and I had my tripod going to grab content. And when we all got off the stage, we were like, what was that?
Wow.
Went to go look at my phone. Do you know what message was on there? Storage full.
No.
I almost jumped up out that window. Because I was like, wow, what is it? I'm like, it seems like every time I try to get some really, really good footage recorded, I can't get it. And I realized, and I sat on this, which is in due time.
In due time.
So until then, I'm just keep working.
Real.
Yeah.
At this point in your stage, in your career, videographers, shout out to Fonzie too. But of course Fonzie is worldwide. He's everywhere.
He's everywhere.
Locally, do you have somebody that works with you to handle that?
I do, Philly is.
Go ahead. Okay. Gotcha.
Philly is Philly.
Gotcha.
But no, I do have shout out to Gene Visuals.
Gotcha.
Really talented, very, very talented, dope videographer that I do work with in Philly. He's just so busy,
Gotcha. Understand.
But if you're watching this, Gene,
Gotcha. Right.
No, but he's really dope. So that's
Gotcha.
my person that I work to when until I get to about Virginia, and then when I'm at Virginia, I'm calling Fonzie to get up a little closer.
Right.
Unless, because Fonz, he's filming large TV networks.
Absolutely.
He's out in LA. He's doing Grammys. He's doing everything.
Absolutely.
So you got to kind of just like balance between. But I am noticing that the fact that people see me working,
right,
and they like the quality and the content of my work, I am getting more offers for people that want to work with me, but it kind of goes back to that introverted thing where it's like, what's his name? PJ Morton. He has a song called They Gonna Wanna Come.
Gotcha.
And it says, once the battle is won, they gonna wanna come. You wasn't with me shooting in the gym. You wasn't there when it was all happening. But now, when everything is easy, when you want tickets to the show, they gonna want to come.
Absolutely.
So at that moment in time, you just gotta be mindful who you let in your circle, and remember the people that you've been rocking with.
Respect. What do you think the music industry as a whole, from your lens, what do you think is missing?
Well, number one, wow. That's a stumper.
We'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen.
No, I mean, it's the music industry is so previously I talked about this on another podcast, and I'm pretty sure you might have listened to it. That's how we got here. But it's missing real.
Go ahead. Expound. Just
whatever. All right, it is what it is. We're gonna talk, right?
Go ahead.
It's a bunch of phony crap out here, right? It's a bunch of, hey, look, she looked like something, he looks like something. Let's put them out there and let's see however much we can get for however long we can get it. And when it's over, who cares?
3 million right behind them to do the same thing.
Yeah.
That's right. Absolutely.
Do you watch The Sopranos? Or
I
didn't?
I did not. And I'm mad I didn't. I just didn't have the time to. I should have I'm going to do it now.
It's on HBO.
I have to do it now.
And you can find clips on YouTube. But there is one particular episode that always like stands out to me, where Christopher, which was Tony Soprano's nephew, kind of like his cousin nephew, his girlfriend Adriana, she was just looking for something to do with her time.
Gotcha.
And so she decided she wanted to manage this artist who actually happened to be her ex-boyfriend.
Gotcha.
He was in a band.
Okay.
So she got Christopher to put his money behind the whole project.
Which is her current boyfriend.
I think they were engaged at the time. Right.
He's a good guy.
Well, certain cultures play a different way.
That's true. That is true. That's a fact. That's a fact.
It's
that's so true. No, you're right.
Crazy to me and you, but no, hey, that's how they live their life.
That's so true.
So they're in the studio. They did this cut of the song probably like 20 times. The guy's tired. Christopher comes in and he's like, what's going on? This sounds terrible. And Adrian's like, well, maybe he just needs to do it again. And he was like, well, what was different from the last record? And he was like, oh man, we were on coke then. And he was like, okay. He pulled a bag out. He's like, take this, get in there, and get the song done, over. He's like, we don't do that anymore. He took the guitar, busted. He's like, you're going to do it today, right? But that's the mantra where it's like, he didn't care about the music. He cared about the investment.
Wow.
And that is the industry in a whole. They don't care what it takes for them to make money off of you.
Business.
End of the day.
Wow. I love that parallel, that example. Wow.
Yeah.
And that's real. That's what the game is missing. Real.
And it's missing real. I mean, there have been so many posts and about R&B is not dead. It's coming back, y'all.
Come on,
like,
absolutely.
It's making a comeback. Shout out to Bruno Mars.
Come on.
Anderson .Paak.
Absolutely.
I love that vibe. Listen, I will say that album that they put out when they did the Love Train remix, if you know there's something special, it's the way it goes on Love Train. That song,
serious.
That gave me hope because my parents are older.
Come on.
So those are all the songs that I was listening to. So I'm like, oh, it's cool to do these songs now?
Wow.
Great. Because when I was 18, 19, 20, people were like, you can't do that. You can't do jazz. You can't do this classic soul. You can't do this. You're too young for that. You need to be doing pop. I'm like, but I don't like pop.
Right.
Okay.
Wow.
So I not wasted, but because every experiment
You go ahead.
is a lesson.
Absolutely.
I always say that every lesson is for the next blessing.
Go ahead.
But I did spend a lot of time trying to become this pop artist that ultimately down inside, I'm like...
Just like it wasn't, but you had to go through that.
I had to go through it.
Real. About 30 seconds of your time. I really appreciate your support. With every interview, my aim is to bring integrity and fun back to the culture. And I can't do it without you. If you're enjoying this episode, please hit the subscribe button, leave a comment, and hit the like button. It helps the algorithm. I appreciate you. Back to the interview. Your biggest influences in R&B and jazz, who are they?
Okay. Let's start with jazz. So my biggest influence in jazz, Nat King Cole.
Come on.
Natalie Cole, his daughter, did the Unforgettable album, which is a tribute album to him. It's 22 tracks on there.
Wow.
And I know everyone from number 1 to number
now.
22
Wow.
being the remix of Unforgettable with her and her father.
Come on.
Obviously, I'm going to say Carmen McRae because she is a late descendant of my family.
Come on.
That's my my maiden real name,
Right.
Rachel McRae.
Come on.
Putting that out there, that government.
That's what's up.
So yeah, Carmen McRae, Ella Fitzgerald, Lena Horne, and we're definitely not going to forget about Etta.
Come on.
And she's more like soul jazz,
Very soul,
but
yes. But still.
we're not going to forget about Etta.
That's dope. What about your
And
R&B?
shout out to Marian Anderson because she is from Philly.
Gotcha. So you grew up, you feel like you have an old soul?
Oh my God, yeah.
Real.
My dad, his birthday had just passed December 31st.
Gotcha.
And he would have been 95 years old.
Gotcha.
My pop, not my pop.
Right. Wow.
Yeah. So like I've got 2 sisters out there. I've kept them quiet for a long time.
You have a younger sister.
I do have a younger sister.
Much younger.
I
know you spoke about her. Okay, gotcha.
I have.
And you said you kept them quiet.
I've kept the older ones quiet because they're from my father's first marriage.
Okay.
And they decided that they don't want to have a relationship with me. I've gone back and forth with the one for some years, having some type of communication. And the only thing that just keeps resonating in my head is when she said, "What do you want?" And I was like, well, I'm hoping for a relationship. She said, I'd rather give you $50,000 right now so you never call me again. All my friends was like, girl, I took that money.
Are you serious?
And I'm like, it was this thing more than anything. And I can't understand it. But, you know, when you start to elevate your brain, elevate your life and live your life, work on your own craft, push your own projects, you understand that people are entitled to feel the way they feel.
So true.
And until I got into a situation where I didn't want to take part with certain people for my own reasons, and I understood that no matter how many times I told them, they didn't understand it, but I felt strongly. I feel strongly about that. That was when I respected their decision to not want to have a relationship with me.
Wow.
And I let it go.
How much older are they than you?
Around 35 years older than me.
That is
right. 35 years older than me, you know? And I said that to them. I'm like, what do you believe? I'm not his kid? And they're like, no, you look more like him than we do. One is a doctor and the other one is a lawyer. Well, they're retired now.
Wow.
Yeah.
How does that play on you? I know you a lot of forgiveness, but how does that play on you to this day? Like, how does that, knowing, like I'm hearing you even speak on how, my band, backup singers, everybody, this is, family, sometimes I hear a lot with artists, just because it's blood doesn't make you family, but when someone doesn't, out of no great malice out of thin air, how do you deal with that? Because there may be some people watching that's going through the same thing.
I mean, it's like this. What they say, sometimes mud is thicker than blood. It's the same rules. I mean, family is who you make it. You could literally have a brother or a sister that walks past you every day and you don't even know it because your parents had a kid, adopted it. You sent it, put it up for adoption. So what about those kids? You're not searching for the ones you don't know. You're not out there doing a DNA check for everybody. So you got to just understand that people come into your life to compensate for that. And you have to be okay with that.
Gotcha.
And I was able to make my peace with it. So my thoughts to you, from what I experienced to you, if you are experiencing this, make your peace with it. And understand that that's their choice, that is their decision, and ultimately their loss.
Real. Who in this world knows you the best?
God.
I knew you was gonna say.
Yeah, I mean, we're ever changing.
Absolutely.
We're ever evolving. After this interview, I'm going to have more knowledge. I like to draw in knowledge.
Absolutely.
Anybody that knows me or comes in contact with me, excuse me.
All right.
I'll always say to them, can I come and sit with you and absorb knowledge? I'm a visual, hands-on learner. So if I want to be better in what I'm doing, I need to sit with somebody that I feel is better than me.
Real. Absolutely.
Iron
that's how I feel.
Sharpens iron.
Absolutely. Who in this world do you admire the most?
You put me in a real tough spot because
take a swig of that.
Take a swig of this apple juice. Okay? Put me in a tough situation. Right, there are several people that I admire, and I really honestly can't just sum it all down to one. I've been blessed to have some amazing people come in my life that are still in my life, and to come in and out of my life. Relationships aren't always for a long time.
Absolutely right.
Some of them come along to teach you a lesson and move on. And once again, we have to be okay with that. But I can't, and I'm not going to name people because I feel like I'd be sitting here for the next 3 hours trying to name them.
You're very wise. Where do you contribute your wisdom from?
Life experiences. I've been through a lot of them. When my two best friends, my childhood best friends, they have both of their parents, and my one friend who is my sister, she just lost her father within the last year. And when I lost my dad, going through life, I always said, wow, at least I'm always prepared. I'm already prepared to help them with when we get older and when they happen to lose their parents, one of their parents. But when my best friend's father died, I didn't know what to say to her. I didn't know what to say. So, going through those lessons younger, it put me in a sense of I don't have a choice. I have to do what I got to do, but I ain't going to do anything.
Real. Real. 2024, January through December. What's something you learned about yourself that was new?
Oh, man, I learned so much about myself.
Go ahead.
But I learned how to let it go. I learned how to let it go. One things I was talking to Fonzie about, which is funny because we were at rehearsal last night. He's like, Rach, wait a minute now. I knew you could sing, but where'd that come from? And I said, it came from discipline like this.
Come on.
Apple juice.
Apple juice.
Not
Absolutely.
smoking.
Yep. That's right.
Doing the things that destroy people's careers. Yeah, it's fun. You're having fun while you're doing it.
Short term.
And I don't judge nobody for doing it. But it's not for me anymore.
Real. Was that a hard thing to, just like you even said with, I'm seeing this, I'm noticing this trait thing that's going on with a lot of artists right now, 2024, 2025. I'm hearing a lot of selfish season. I got to put me first. I put everybody first before me. It's now or never. Like these traits I'm hearing a lot. Is that similar in?
Yeah, those are breakthrough words, breakthrough phrases. I feel like people that are saying that, they realize like every mistake that you make is a lesson, right?
Absolutely.
So if you're not taking those mistakes and evaluating yourself and preparing for the next opportunity, you're wasting your time. So when you do that a certain amount of times, now that you are ready for this next step.
Real.
Which is, getting the bag, getting into the doors, opening the doors that weren't opening before.
Right.
I know for myself, in my self-evaluations, I don't compare myself to anybody.
That's
right?
a skill.
It is.
That is a skill to even. Where did that? Because I know you spoke early on, like those in your corner saying, you focus on you.
Mm-hmm.
How do you even? All we have is this world, to compare.
Yeah.
Is the thief of all joy, but how do you because that's a skill, I believe, to be able to hone in on you, regardless of what the world is doing, just you. How do you, even for the artists watching this, how have you mastered that?
It will drive you crazy.
Real.
To try to figure out if you're better than somebody else. The one thing that you have to notice is that it could be 10 artists on a show, and everybody that's out there in that audience has come to see someone or a few, right?
Absolutely.
But they like them all for their own purposes. I never forget, I did a show one time with this amazing artist, and she's a good friend of mine, and she can sing. I mean, like, sing. And somebody said, "You doing the show with her?" So I was teed off, right?
Gotcha.
It literally pissed me off because I'm like, first of all, what are you trying to say? Like, she's better than me? Why wouldn't I be on the show with her? And they were like, no, I'm just saying it because like she sang. Okay, that's great. And I'm gonna be right there in the front clapping with her too because I'm a fan.
I love that.
But the other side of that is them people came out there to see me.
Come on.
And in my realm of always trying to network and connect people, those people that came to see me are now going to hear my favorite.
Real.
And the people that came to hear me, that came to see her, are now going to hear her favorite.
Absolutely.
Because those are the people that I rock with.
Absolutely.
I'm your favorite's favorite.
I love that. I love that. That's real. That's real. I love that.
Yeah. I did a show in AC, February 2024. Called Lovers and Friends. Sold out, AC.
Come on.
We had comedian Buckwild as the host, Seth Fleming as a co-host who was on R&B Divas.
Gotcha.
And we had a plethora of artists on the show.
Wow.
I curated this event.
Come on.
I sponsored this event.
Go ahead.
And I also put the whole lineup together.
Wow.
I produced the show.
Wow.
I did every moving part and I performed. Wow. But the purpose of this show, to have different variety of artists, was to show people that it can be done.
It can be done.
It can be done.
What did you learn about yourself putting together, curating that event in that time? Like, I know, just like you say, 2024, I asked what you learned about yourself. Mm-hmm. In that, that instant right there, what did you learn about yourself?
Here it comes.
Real.
Allocate tasks.
Come on.
Allocate tasks. But be sure that the people that you're allocating the task to can do what you need, right?
Gotcha.
But then again, it goes back into what I said about strong leadership. I allocated the mistakes that I know I made during the background. This is something that nobody publicly knew about.
Gotcha.
I was allocating tasks, but I wasn't being a good leader. I wasn't following up. I wasn't making sure that the people that I was putting in charge of these things had the tools that they needed.
Gotcha.
So ultimately, I was upset because it was my money at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
But if I was leading properly, it would have been like 10 times better.
Are you looking to do this again in 2025?
I am.
Come on.
But with somebody else's money.
Right. I tried that before, right?
Yeah, so if you are looking to sponsor, like...
Real.
I'm willing to accept. So, yeah, I mean, it's... You know, you learn from every lesson. I mean, I've done several shows where I've done that, and then I've scaled them up.
Gotcha.
2023, I did a show called the Excellence Soiree. It was a Father's Day event that I had because typically it's like every time Father's Day comes around, it's like they're like, here's some socks, here's a card, you want to grill?
Absolutely.
Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day.
So I figured, well, let me put on a soiree, black tie event
That's dope.
For fathers.
I love it. How was it?
It was terrible.
No.
It was terrible. I mean, the people that came enjoyed themselves. Right. The food was amazing. I had it catered.
Come on.
I had it catered. It was phenomenal. The place was beautiful. The decor was amazing.
Wow.
Everything was beautiful, but there were no people there. And everybody was like, whoa, it's Father's Day. And I'm like, y'all never do nothing for Father's Day, and now all of a sudden tough. You are. Yeah. So that was tough. But once again, I took that lesson,
right,
and applied it to the next time.
Absolutely, gotcha.
So although in 2024, when I did Atlantic City, it was a sold out show.
Right.
It was still missing elements behind the scene that I know in 2025.
Gotcha. That
I'm going to hit all
just
bases.
Like you say, you have to go through it in a sense. You're learning on this journey. You're learning every time. Not failing, I'm learning what to do, what not to do for the next time.
Yep.
This residency, Atlantic Station, how did that come about?
So,
and I'm saying station, city. Sorry. I'm sorry. Look,
they knew what you were talking about.
I'm sorry. Yes.
But yeah, this residency in Atlantic City, it's seasonal because, as you know, Atlantic City is cold in the winter.
Absolutely.
So in the spring, I start back. And it came up because my bro, Shannon Woodall, another curator, another big person that does a lot of stuff in Philly and in Jersey.
Gotcha.
And we used to co-curate this event in Philly called AMW, right? Okay. So it's his company. It's called A Music World.
I love it.
So I was the host, and he curated the music behind it, and it literally was the spot to be for everybody to come out to sing because the sound was crisp.
Real.
And the lighting was dope. So when people would come out, they would do their song, and you wouldn't know where they were.
Wow.
And it sounded good, and we had a great thing going.
Gotcha.
And then the place had went through some like licensing L&I issues. And then now we're trying to rebrand that. A couple other things that we're going to be doing with that coming up soon. But yeah, so that's how I got started with that. So we kind of transitioned to Atlantic City while we were waiting for this place to kind of open back up. And it became something that was like, I love doing it because, like I said, it's a Black-owned restaurant.
Right.
And it just felt good being in there, like saying those words, like, oh my God, are y'all having a good time tonight? How is the food? Because I knew the food was good, right? Like, this place has a line around the corner. Like, when I would pull up and park, I would walk in and people would look at me like, how's she busting the line?
Wow.
Right.
Like that.
Like that. Wrapped around the line, wrapped around the building. So
you gained a lot of new fans there.
Yeah.
I know you did. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
It's a vibe. You know, it's always good to be in that setting. And I love to like be personal with people.
Right.
I like to come out and, you know, I used to work in hospitality.
Now that makes sense.
Yeah.
I've seen you rock the stage. Like, now that makes sense. Like, hospitality full of, I mean, you know how to make somebody feel like a certain thing within 5 seconds.
Oh yeah.
You walked in here, made me feel, you're different. You can feel it. That person's different. It's not just an artist.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
You ever hear anyone say, I'm giving the same energy you're giving? I heard some woman say that the other day to me, and she said it like, well, I'm giving the same energy I'm getting. And I'm like, but I've been nice, and you sound like, okay.
Gotcha.
All right, sis. Right. And even then, I'm still not going to turn into you. Because you need a hug.
Real. Sis.
That's what I'm just boiling it all down to. She needed a hug. It's a lot of women out here that just need a hug.
Wow. You're saying something.
Yeah.
You're saying something. Real.
But this is the reason why we have RaQuel's house.
Go ahead.
Have you seen any episodes?
Let's talk about that. No, I have not. Let's speak on that.
Okay.
Let's speak on that. RaQuel's house. Okay. Fill me in. What is RaQuel's house?
So RaQuel's house is my live band in-house jam session. So it's a concert basically that I do at my house.
That's crazy.
At my house.
I did not hear about this. Okay.
Yeah.
How often do you do it? When did you start this? And what sparked this?
So I started it in this was something that I did in 2024.
Gotcha.
First one I did was in May. And once again, this was another initiative because we didn't have our place where we were doing AMW. Right. And I'm like, well, maybe it's time for me to spread my wings and do something solo. And I wanted, I'm a foodie and I cook. So for me, it's hard to go out to places and spend my money on food and it's nasty.
Real.
Yeah.
That's why you say at Atlantic Station, you was making sure, the food that matched up with what you like, no, because I'm a fan of the food as well. That represents you, the brand.
Because the other place that we were doing it at, people were still coming every week. It was every Thursday. They came every week. Oh no, we were doing that one on Wednesday. Every week they came. And every night they were like, this food is terrible. They fried this. I mean, it was every complaint in the world and they still came. So I was like, dang, I wonder if I cook them something, how they gonna feel.
Come on, I love it.
And that's what I did. So
really?
I do an invite only live jam session at my house. I cook all the food.
Come on.
And I don't just make a pot of spaghetti.
Right. Like you really...
I cook. I'll make macaroni and cheese. I will make salmon croquettes. I made some grilled salmon burgers. One time, usually when people get there, I'm taking a shower, getting dressed while everybody's mingling. Right. I have a bartender that comes in. My guy Kev, shout out to Bez with Kev, and he has that interactive, bubbly spirit like me. So, and he's great with making drinks. It's hand in hand.
Right.
So
you said this is weekly.
No, this is something that I was doing it on a monthly basis, gotcha. But now it's so since it's invite only, it's on a you just get a 2-week notification.
Okay. And how? Let me ask you this: say Fonzie comes. Mm-hmm. Fonzie wants to invite others. How does that work with invite only?
I have to screen everybody.
Gotcha.
Yep.
So it's not just like I'm gonna give you a plate, listen to some music. No,
it is real. It is a real invite only event. So and the thing is, it's not even something that you would mind coming alone to.
Gotcha.
The last one that I did, I had Live Nation was in the building. One of our some anchors from our local radio station WDAS was in the building. Some really influential community advocates were in the building.
Gotcha.
And it was a vibe. But on that scale, RaQuel's house was created also for the artists that I know are working jobs to make it, taking care of their families, and they don't have it to go somewhere and pay a $20 cover.
Go ahead.
But they want to have a good time too, and they also want to have a chance and an opportunity to be in a place where they can make them connections
as well.
Right. So I don't need to walk you over there and tell you who this person is. Let your talent speak for itself. You here in this room. Let's do it.
Absolutely.
So I have live band. My musician friends, when they come in off tour, they come there, they swap out. I have a grand piano in my house.
That's dope, sis.
It's really interesting because all the pianists that come, they're so excited to play it.
Right.
Because they have keyboards that have the weight of it, but not the same thing.
Absolutely.
So they're typically when it's over and I'm unplugging everyone's stuff, because sometimes you gotta just be like, all right, y'all,
Okay.
good night.
Right, 6 a.m. No,
Right.
Yeah. Let me ask you this: how many are we looking at? 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40? What are we looking at? Like,
So sometimes we get up to like 50,
Good
60
gracious.
people there, and mind you, like I live
sounds
in
like an
a
estate. That doesn't
it's
sound like a
not
house.
even.
Go ahead,
No, it's
sis.
not.
Go
But that was the thing. Like when I envisioned it, I envisioned a old school house party, like when your parents and your aunts and uncles was in that basement
Absolutely. Go ahead.
kicking
Go
it,
ahead.
right?
Absolutely.
If you had to squeeze through them, like
That's right.
excuse me,
Vibe. I love
right?
it.
And that was what I wanted, and that was the music, the energy, and just
Real.
like
Clean,
all of that.
just like what's like you said, the old soul.
Yeah.
Like that's what's missing.
yeah.
I love that. How do you feel like that's gonna scale up, like to where it's like, okay,
I mean,
because that
it
sounds like
is.
something. When you said that, the vision sounds like, RaQuel's house. Like this is, just something major.
The crazy thing is, it's like I feel like I'm trying to keep a scale back, but I have gotten a couple offers of like, it's time for us to put RaQuel's. It's time for you to put RaQuel's house on the stage, and I'm like, no, RaQuel's house should be at RaQuel's house, right?
Gotcha.
But next month I will be in North Carolina.
Gotcha.
Doing a taping of RaQuel's house. So it's gonna be good. We're gonna do it for like a Black History kickoff.
That's dope.
So it's gonna be February 1st, actually. And yeah, so hopefully I can send you an invite.
Definitely,
if you
sis.
feel like coming out to North Carolina.
Sis. Definitely.
That'll be great.
Definitely. That's dope. That's dope.
Yeah. So it's taken off. And that's and now, excuse me, and now the vibe is catching on. People like, that's how you can get me to do a RaQuel's house. Let me come into your house
That's dope.
with my band.
That is dope.
And my singer. So, and that's the thing, when I am sourcing artists from North Carolina.
Building that
Like I'm
network.
bringing some with me from Philly, but we're sourcing some from North Carolina.
That's dope. That's dope. And Fonzie can help you out with that too. Fonzie.
Yep.
Yeah, that's right. Absolutely. That's real.
Absolutely.
Let me ask you this, Rachel RaQuel. What is your proudest accomplishment thus far?
My proudest accomplishment is having the ability to advocate for others.
Respect.
Yeah. That brings me joy. That right there, is like making sure that I'm finding that alignment for my purpose. Because even when we think we know what we're here for,
Go ahead.
It changes.
Absolutely. And you're along for the ride. You don't. We spoke off camera regarding, we both grew up, son of a preacher man. We both grew up in the church. A relationship with God, who we are. We spoke off camera regarding, energy, synergy, like what this, relationship, just what it's really about. You're open. You're not. I'm gonna make sure I say it right. You're not. You're free.
Yeah.
You let things be. You don't seem boggled by a lot. You allow things, your life, to move, and you're just like you say. My grind, scale 1 through 10, is out of here. You just allow things to be. You're not content by anything. Is that who you are?
Yeah, I mean, Mary J. Blige has a song. It's called "I'm Not Gonna Cry."
Go ahead.
And that was, situations that were happening in my life, especially over the last 2 years. That was where I was at, and I'm like, I'm wasting my time with this because these tears aren't changing the outcome. How can I change the outcome so I don't feel like this anymore? I don't want to feel like this anymore. I'm the type of person that when I like something, I'm going to tune in on why I like it and keep it there.
Real.
When I dislike something, when I dislike how someone has treated me, I am not going to go and cry about it. I am going to figure out how to never, ever let that happen to me again. And that's that. Simple as that. If it means I have to cut that tie with that person, if it means that I now have to, last job I was working at, Rachel was working at, not RaQuel.
Go ahead. Absolutely.
As a human resources professional.
For sure.
There was a software program that we were getting for our candidates, and it gave us something called predictive index.
Gotcha.
So you ever notice like when you're filling out like applications
It
for like
already has
credit
a-
cards and stuff like
absolutely.
that, and you get denied, it's because you typed the information in and then you deleted it. It tracks that.
That is hilarious.
Or so when you put information in, or so when it says,
So you mean to say when they say monthly income and I put $450,000 a month and they don't, and I'm lying, they notice that?
no, not that part. I mean, kind of yes, but not like that.
Right,
So
but-
when you put it in, like, all right, so let's just say
delete-
you put in, my annual income is $450,000, right? And then it says, how much are your bills, right? So you already know, like, it's got to be low.
For the debt to income ratio.
Right. So let's just say you type in $1,000, but then you hit that backspace and go,
That is crazy.
500.
It's crazy.
Actually, 250, right?
They notice that.
They know because your first answer should be correct.
Wow.
So you have to understand and have predictive index with people. When you see people say, "Oh,
Gotcha.
okay," and that's I feel like that's one of my more famous phrases these days. It used to be, "That is amazing." Now it's, "Okay,
Okay. Gotcha.
okay."
Real.
That's it. I mean, it's no loss over here. It's okay, and then I make my decision on, okay.
Real. What's the biggest difference between Rachel and RaQuel?
Biggest difference is the Q. No, I mean, they're ultimately, you know, other than the fact that Rachel focuses more on just the workings, the moving pieces, and RaQuel is the show.
Real.
They're two different things, so you can't
Absolutely.
really compare them, but they are one. They are me. I am them.
I love that you said in the prior interview, Rachel allows me, to be there, focus on family, focus on helping my mom day in and day out.
Oh yeah.
RaQuel lets me focus on me as an artist in totality.
Oh yeah.
It's the biggest difference.
It is. I mean, we go through things in life that we cannot change.
Absolutely.
And, tapping on what was just said, my mom has been in the state that she's in for 7 years now.
Okay.
And the moments that I feel like, oh my God, it's not looking good. Then she makes like a 360 return.
Wow.
And I stressed and I cried, but I didn't pray. Right?
Gotcha.
So when I just pray on it and let it go, and the outcome turns out to be the same, I didn't stress. I didn't lose sleep on it. I was able to still focus
Absolutely.
on everything that she needed from me
Absolutely.
and keep it all in a line.
Real.
I can't help anybody if I can't help myself.
Self. That's so true.
And I say that over and over again. Like, I was working so much and stressing so much, I literally fell out, hit my face
Jesus.
on a iron bed, and had a seizure.
Jesus says.
Thank God, because I had the cameras in the room, the doctor was able to look at it and evaluate and say, okay, the seizure occurred because of trauma, because of head trauma. Because if not, we would have to put you on medication.
Wow.
You'd be evaluated. And that was 3 years ago. And I've never had another one, thank God. But, that was also the time and another reason for the enlightenment. Like, I'm killing myself trying to do things that
So
I
much.
can still do and just not stress about them.
Gotcha.
Yeah. You gotta show up.
So
You gotta be there.
Gotta be there. Gotta show up. I love that. Wow. How is it now? Like, we spoke on tennis. We spoke on fitness. We spoke on, keeping things pure. Like, that's a part of your day-to-day journey. Like, as far as taking care of your temple.
Yeah.
Real.
It's a work in progress.
Absolutely.
And nothing's perfect. And I'm not saying that I would never entertain the
Right. Understand.
the adult
Definitely,
beverages.
Definitely.
But
Time and place.
yeah, when I'm like, oh my God, I got a whole week off, I'm vacationing.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
the tequila might find me.
Absolutely.
You know,
Real.
I'm not saying I don't. You know, what was that? That episode of Martin where who was it? They said they didn't eat meat, and they was like, turns out you was eating pork slabs. You know, it's like that. I definitely don't want anybody like pulling up any pictures of me taking shots.
Yes,
because I'm not saying that it'll never happen. I'm saying that it's a work in progress, and you have to just you have to start. You have to do
Absolutely.
it. It's not I'm going to maybe in a week or two. Just start and do it and stick to it and remember why you're doing it.
Real.
That's it.
Real. Time or money? Which one means most to you?
Time.
Real.
Time.
99% of my guests have said time.
Yeah, you can't put a value on it. You can't get it back.
Real.
I mean, money comes and goes. And I hear people say, well, you have to have money to say that. No, you don't. I've been in situations where, man, I just talked about this on Threads, where like people that know me don't even know that like they would ask me to borrow something and that would be all that I had. And I would now need to go and ask somebody else because I know that they needed it
more than you did at that time.
Yep. And there are people that showed no appreciation to that. And guess what? Okay.
I love it. Okay.
What are you going to say? What am I going to do? Is it going to make me get it back? I didn't get it back. So, okay. Did I survive? Was there something else? When I made that call to get whatever it was I needed, was that available? It was. So that's how that works.
Absolutely. When does your latest single, Okay, come out?
It might be coming to it. Coming soon.
Absolutely. I love
it.
Okay. I love it.
Okay.
I love it. What do you actually have in the works for this first quarter of 2025, music-wise?
So I've been working with this producer and hopes of working with a producer that I've previously worked with.
Okay.
And I just was telling Fonzie this, like, sometimes, like, you work with some producers and you're like, they're like, I sent you some beats. And I'm like, I don't want you to send me beats. Send me music.
Love it.
Integrity.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
And that's been my struggle in finding that algorithm. So I have some really dope producers that I am working with right now. I have some fire right now that I'm sitting on, and that is a part of my journey, which is to let it go. Respect. So I have songs that I've done over the years that are just sitting, and I'm going to let them all go as singles.
Real. So you're focusing on the singles currently.
Yeah,
real.
99
Absolutely.
Singles. Let's get them out.
Let's get them on out of it. That's real.
Let's get them out. I mean, who was it? Made a whole career off of singles. Is this? Well, I guess we probably shouldn't be talking about this person right now, but he made a career off of singles. No album, singles.
Wow.
Singles. And, you know, sometimes people don't listen to the whole album. And you might have something on there that you really want somebody to hear. The way the streaming services are set up.
Go ahead.
They're just going to put your name up and it's going to be right there anyways.
Anyway, absolutely.
So, yeah.
Real.
About to drop these singles.
Gotcha. What's your lead single that you're about to, what's the first one coming?
First one dropping is called Feelings.
Feelings. Love it.
Because we all got feelings.
Go ahead. I love it.
Why do we feel this way? Why do we choose to stay? We can't control these feelings. I'm sick of the games we play. It feels like we're in a maze. Why can't we control these feelings? First line is, I know I said I hate you, but that ain't what I mean. Because even when we argue, I don't want you to leave.
Go ahead. Real. Love it. I love it.
Yeah.
It's one of those.
It is. It is. Sure. And this song is coming out first on this route because it's another lesson song. It was a song that I recorded, and I was told by the people that I was working with, like, this is the one.
Gotcha.
And I was like, no, it's not. I was like, I want this song.
Right.
Because I like it. And that was me not listening to my fan base. So that's why they're very important.
Real.
Their opinions are important. Because now I truly understand the meaning of the song.
I love it.
I didn't really understand. Once again, like I said, collaborative writing.
Absolutely.
You're talking about things that other people are going
Absolutely.
through that makes sense. So sometimes they're not what you're going through.
Absolutely.
Now.
Absolutely. Real, sis. Do you actually, are you going to have a video, any visual to go along with this first single?
Listen, that is what I'm missing, visuals. And we're changing that.
Respect. And this spoke to an artist as well, spoke to labels. And Fonzie, she was saying how had label talks, and they're saying, it's amazing to hear this. They're saying the labels were saying, as far as music videos, we would much rather see short form content like the drop mics. And I'm like, that's what they're looking for these days. And it's ridiculous.
And that's going
it
to
sounds
change next
crazy,
month.
But that's what they're looking for. Short form videos because of how the algorithm has changed people's attention spans, which is crazy.
Shorter. They can't stomach a whole
that is crazy
thing. But that's also like, how we change the narrative. We gotta put it out there. We have to see if it sticks, because there are videos that people will watch the whole thing through. It just has to be engaging enough.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely. We watched Thriller was damn near 6 hours. No, I was playing.
Right.
But
it was engaging.
It was engaging. Amazing.
You
Absolutely.
have babies right now who've never seen Michael Jackson, never been to a concert, never experienced him live, and parents that are like, we don't even know like how they like them so much, and they're like,
that's something. Ain't that something?
They're in it, right? Because there's something about that.
Go ahead. So true.
There's something about that. But the labels, they change from today till tomorrow.
Real.
When I had a situation with a label and they were listening to my project before, they were like, it sounds like a bunch of singles.
That is what a amazing compliment that is.
Right now, but it wasn't then, because I was trying to push it as an album. So it was like,
that is crazy.
It was distraught. But like I said, it's all about learning.
Absolutely.
Taking that lesson, remembering it, remember those things that were said, and putting it into the next project, pushing forward. Even if it's not something for you, giving it to somebody else.
Right, that's right. Love or respect? Which one means most to you?
Respect.
99.9% of my guests have said respect.
Yeah.
Why so?
I mean, for myself, I know the type of heart I have, so it's not hard for people to love me. And I'm not saying that it's hard for people to respect me either, but as a woman in this society,
absolutely,
as a Black woman in this society, sometimes it's a little harder to get respect.
Gotcha.
So yeah, I want that RESPECT, like Miss Franklin said. Okay.
Find out what it means to thine. Real, sis. Real. When it's all said and done, Rachel, RaQuel, what would you want your legacy to be?
Man, I'm working on that. And that's that part of that everyday life growth challenge. I mean, right now, I'm going to say that I want my legacy to be known as someone who made sure that everybody else was all right. And I'm working on that. We're getting there. So that's big shoes to fill.
Real.
But I need a big team to do it. So that's why I want to keep striving and pushing in this music thing, because I know that I can bring a lot of positive change.
Absolutely.
I know that I have good influence for positive change.
Absolutely.
And I really want to use my platform to help that.
Purpose.
Yep.
Real. Beacon light in this world.
Yeah.
Real, sis. Real. When it's all said and done.
When it's all said and done. Country,
city life, or suburb life, where do you and hubby retire? Where do y'all go?
Let's see. It's hard because I'm from the city.
From the city, right.
And when I moved to the country, I was taken back.
Gotcha.
For sure. Like going to the store, like, hey, are you okay? You've been at the store for like an hour and a half. I'm on my way back now. Well, what were you doing? I just got it and I came back. Where that's something in the city with 30 minutes tops.
Gotcha.
And that's a long time.
Absolutely.
But an hour and a half is like, well, you was only going to get a bottle of barbecue sauce.
Right. That's real. That's real.
Yeah.
So it'll be city. Most likely it'll be city.
Yeah, city. I mean, look, I can go either way. I can do city with a high-rise apartment where I got the whole floor and I have beautiful views and I can see and it's serene and I have all my amenities in my house. Or I can go and live on an island where I am eating off the earth.
Come on.
But it just depends on what's going on in my life.
Real. As long as they got a dog park in the city, as long as that island does, that's real.
For sure. Because let me tell you something, my babies are potty trained. Okay, they go outside to the bathroom. We don't play that.
We don't play that.
No. We don't put down no pads. They don't wear no diapers.
Gotcha.
They scratch at the door.
Right, yeah, that's good. That's
I'm like,
good.
You need to go out? There you go.
Real. Rachel, with $100 million in your bank account tomorrow morning, what changes about you?
How many people I can help?
I love that.
The amount of people.
I love that answer. I love that answer.
Yeah.
Real.
That's it. I mean, what? $100 million in my bank account tomorrow morning is go time. Go time.
I own Atlantic City. No, it's real. Go ahead.
Go time.
Go time. That's real, sis. I love it.
It's go time.
Rachel RaQuel, it's been a pleasure on the Integrity Response.
Yes.
I appreciate you coming through, sis. In this North Carolina, whatever you have going, please let me know in advance. I definitely want to come and support. Fonzie, let me know what's going on for sure. Sis, anything you want to lead them with before we leave out here?
Listen, they can definitely follow me on all social platforms. Sure. And if you don't, you can go on my website because you can just find me anywhere and everything that's going on there, which is www.IamRachelRaquel.com. We're
going to make sure we have that in the listing below this interview. We're going to make sure we have that along with her social media as well. Yes. Rachel, as tradition on the Integrity Response, if you can reach into that bowl, grab one fortune cookie, open it, and read it to your supporters.
I was looking at them
just
too.
like that,
okay.
We out of here.
All right, let's see.
All right.
Let's pull this around.
You got you.
All right.
Right. I love when everybody goes to the bar.
I got one. And I do like fortune cookies.
You know
too,
it.
So
You know it.
They say you have to eat it.
That's what everybody says. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
Right. Crack it open.
Good. Oh, yeah. Right. It's right.
We'll get some ASMR.
Everybody said that. That was hilarious. I love it.
Okay.
Go ahead.
It says, advice can come in all forms.
Real.
Mm-hmm.
Real. It's amazing you even said, like you like to soak up game, soak up knowledge, like the real, sis. Real. Respect.
In all forms.
All forms. Real. Rachel RaQuel, 2025. Y'all look out for everything this woman has already done, everything she's doing, everything she is about to do. Y'all stand by for greatness. RaQuel's house. She's rocking. Y'all please join the movement. Please join everything she's doing. Sis, it's been a pleasure.
Been a pleasure.
Appreciate you.
Take care.
All right, you know it. Signing off. Integrity Response 2025. Salute.